So I'm here with Jim Pode from AdvantageIQ. Thanks for giving us some of your time.
Thank you.
Can you start off by telling us about what AdvantageIQ does?
Thanks, Ben. AdvantageIQ is a utility expense management company. When you think about large corporations with multi-sites across the country, they have large spends within those sites or total portfolio. So if you think about the data and how we capture data today, we take the utility invoice from a utility company, we bring it into our shop, we end up paying the utility invoice, we start collecting the data from the utility invoice, line by line item, and then we take and we use that data to help us control cost or control use from the portfolio standpoint. So as an example, if you're out in an area where you can buy electricity in an open market, we can take the data from the utility invoice, look at that data, and see how cost effectively we could manage that price. If you look at the usage side, we may be able to put things such as metrics with the data that allows us to understand one facility against another facility and identify an outlier as it relates to that facility. So if you think about a corporation with large end use as it relates to how they're producing, what they're producing, or energy that's where it's coming from, we can manage that whole process.
So solution is really to outsource the entire energy management process.
Correct.
To AdvantageIQ.
Correct, yeah. I'm here with Paige Kendall. Paige manages the delivery side of our organization. A lot of people that work for Paige actually take the information and manage that process to understand where that information is coming from and how more effectively to use that information to point out where, in fact, that the client can actually reduce energy or even make a more sustainable facility.
Okay. All right, Paige, you're up.
Great.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Absolutely. So one of the key components of AdvantageIQ is helping customers manage their utility expense management portfolio as efficiently as possible. So there's two ways to approach that. One is reducing consumption, and the other idea is to reduce cost. So we always have a saying that is the cheapest KWH is no KWH at all. So the idea is to find reporting and mechanisms to be able to compare locations and find those outliers in order to reduce that consumption. And then once we identify that consumption, then trying to make it as cheap as possible in terms of looking for deregulated opportunities and also looking in the regulated markets to see where we can afford our customers the most satisfying rate.
So what are some of those outliers? What would some of those outliers be?
It would be when you're looking at facilities, looking at them based on a mixed energy, so looking at KBTU metrics, so per square foot is typically one of the most common metrics in our industry. Okay. Looking at just electricity usage, gas usage, but also being able to take that data and understanding what are the variabilities between sites that can make usage go up or down. So saying if there's a site in Florida, obviously they're going to be using a lot more energy to cool than a site in New York City. And so taking those variables and being able to impact the data to remove those out of the question, so a site manager can't say, yeah, of course I'm using more energy, I'm down here in Florida baking away.
So when you're doing this apples to apples comparison, is it a weather normalization study that you guys are doing to these different locations?
Yeah. So we not only weather normalize the data to make sure that every KWH is comparable, but we're also looking at other factors, client-driven variables that are driving usage. So how many covers is a restaurant, or how many plates have you sold, or for hotels, what is the occupancy that you've had month to month, and what can we expect that usage to do as those numbers change over time.
So talk to me about why you guys do what you do, personally.
Well, personally, I've been in the business for over 30 years, and I grew up in the energy business. Started there fresh out of the military, worked my way through the ranks, got out into the marketplace. And we're passionate about what we do because we think that we're helping clients reduce overall energy costs, either through the use side or the cost side. It's an interesting environment to be in. Now with the interest of sustainability, it adds a little bit more value to what the client can ultimately do, and you're doing something that's right for the environment.
Cool. You too.
Yeah, I think it's really empowering site managers, at the site level to be able to make decisions about reducing consumption and reducing rates and costs. Not everyone's expected to be an expert in energy, and so what we have are the tools and the reporting that will allow these site managers or energy managers to be able to look at their portfolio and make confident decisions about what they're doing, and not only that, but being able to validate that decision by watching the change in the data. So really just empowering our clients to better manage their energy.
Well, Jim and Paige, thanks so much for giving us some of your time, and we wish you guys much success and look forward to talking to you soon.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.